Hi everybody, I just wanted to do a quick video about how server selection works in DayZ for newcomers to the survival game. What does it mean to select either a server from the official list or the community list? So the official servers, these are all run by Bohemia Interactive, and these play normal DayZ, what we would call vanilla DayZ. So it has the normal level of loot, the normal level of zombies. There's a normal day and night cycle. Where community servers, these are owned by private people. I think I'm on PlayStation here, so it'd be Nitrado servers. And what people can do with these servers is they can customize them, so they can have more loot, more zombies, less zombies, short nights, long days. They can password protect them so you can't get onto them, so they can just have their mates playing, all this sort of stuff. Right, so let's go back to the official servers. So when you play on an official server, when you look at the name, it will give you an indication of its geographical location. So AP, I think that's Asia Pacific, and SG would be Singapore. And then we've got SY, I think that's Sydney in Australia. And then we've got EU Deutschland, so that'd be Germany. Lots of those servers. Lots of those. And then we've got Livonia servers in Sydney and then Germany. Then got Livonia in the US. Then you've got the east and the west coast. You've got LA and New York. And there you've got loads of Michigan. MI, would it be Michigan or Missouri? Something like that. So in the middle of America. So that's quite good. So it gives you an idea. Now you want to choose really the geographical location that's closest to you, because that will minimize lag, or it will make your ping as small as possible. And obviously you want to pick, like a Chernarus one if you're on Chernarus, or if it's if you've got the Livonia DLC and you want to play on Livonia, pick a Livonia one that way. When you play on an official server and you start to loot up, so you get your different clothes, you get your weapons, you get your food and stuff like that, if you then choose to change servers, so say I was playing on this top server SG0006, and then I changed to SG00024, everything that I'm wearing and that's in my bag and in my hands I take with me, but you'll often be teleported to somewhere else on the map. So you won't be where you were, so you've got to try and figure out where you are. Now the reason why they do this is, what people used to do in DayZ is that you would travel to somewhere that had lots of good loot, say Tizzy or the Northwest Airfield. You would loot it all in one server. You would then flick to the next server. You would start the next server in the same location, but the loot would be there, and you'd run around and you get all that loot. And it's kind of referred to many things, but maybe loot farming is one of the common things. So to kind of prevent that happening, you always go to a different location. Well, most of the time you go to a different location when you move from an official server to another official server. It also stops people being able to get inside bases as well, because that's another thing you could do. If you knew where a base was, you could go to a different server, move to what would be inside that base, and then log into the other server, and you'd be magically appear inside that base. So to get around that, you teleport all over the place. But as I say, you take the stuff that's with you, that's in your bag and you're carrying. However, if you build a base, or you bury a stash, or you hide some stuff in an oil can, or bury a sea chest, or do any of this sort of stuff, that always stays on the server that you did it. So if I built a server, again on SG0006, if I built a base there, on this server, it would always be there until people came along and destroyed it. If I then switched to SG0024 and then went to that same geographic location, my stuff wouldn't be there. So you can only take the stuff that's on you. Now you'll also notice in the server list, you'll see things like first person only. You'll see temporary servers where they have persistence turned off. So you probably want to avoid them unless you just want a really quick run. And that's the cool thing about official servers. It's vanilla DayZ. There's no rules at all. Anything goes. And this is where you'll have those amazing interactions with random strangers, or you might get shot in the back of the head without even knowing what's going on. Now, community servers. So let's flick over. So community servers, as I said before, these are owned by private individuals or groups. And when you own a community server, or a private server, or a custom server, they're called all these sorts of names, you can change many things about DayZ. You can change how much food there is, how many weapons there is, you know, up and down, more zombies, less zombies. You can make the nights longer, you can make the nights shorter. Very good. You can do things like have cars spawn in with all the bits on them. You can have magazines spawn in with all the bullets in them. You can make sure everything spawns in pristine. All this cool stuff. And what you do again with these is you would probably find a community that you wanted to join, that you'd heard about. You want to join their private server. Now, some private servers will be passworded, or they'll have a whitelist, so you won't be able to get on unless you know that sort of thing. But there's loads of good stuff, and in fact, as you can see, there's 150 pages of private, well, or community servers in DayZ, and this is on PlayStation alone, where there's only 9 pages of official servers. So it gives you an idea of how absolutely popular it is to have your own private server, your own community server. And the reason for this is really because it's the only way on console that you can play single player DayZ as well and have a single player experience. I think it's a bit of a swizz that you can't play DayZ on your console by yourself and learn the game. So for example, with my servers, so if I go over to my filter and I search for Scalespeeder, and we refresh the server, you should eventually, servers found 3, can be a bit janky this, there they are. So this, my 2 are the top ones, 1C and 1L, 1 Chernus and 1 Livonia. And so in my servers, they're set up for player versus environment only. So I have a private Discord. Everybody pays $2 a month or £5 a month, depending on which channel they use to subscribe on, and we all agree not to shoot each other, and we just get on with exploring the map, surviving, building, and enjoying, as I say, a player versus environment experience. Now, some people will do player versus player specific servers where the people are looking to have fights. So if you look at, if we were to look for, let's have a look, PvP would be a good thing to put in, wouldn't it? PvP, refresh servers. So you've got all these PvP servers where people are going there specifically to have battles, and there's loads of stuff here, and often you'll see details about Discords. Don Sibley does a PvP guarantee server that is absolutely fantastic. I know Arshad, one of his Discord members, does some amazing work with customizing the maps. So there we go. That is the difference between official and community servers. With what I should have said with community servers as well is that when you build up your character on a community server, so you get your equipment, you get your gear, and you get your gun, it does not carry over to another custom server. You start off as a fresh character when you move over from one server to the next if it's a custom community private server. Obviously with the bases as well, bases do not carry over, so that's a big difference. So once you get involved in a community server and you build a base and you build up your character, all the stuff, it stays there. It doesn't come with you. Where with the official servers, you can take your kit with you, anything that you're carrying, everything that's in your bag and on your body, but your base or your stashes or anything you've buried stays on the particular server. Okay, hopefully that explains that. If you've got any other questions about this sort of thing, just put them in the comments section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the press subscribe, and see you again soon.